Hello, friends. Welcome to another live stream of the Interstellar Book Club. Dun, dun, dun. I'm excited because, I got things to say.
I'm excited to hear these things.
Yeah. But welcome. I have my co-host Tina here today.
Hi.
It is linked down below. Make sure you're following Tina. Tina's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Do you want to say anything before I start talking about what the book?
I think I put this in the group as the book for a long time, just because it always kind of intrigued me. I know it was on Audible, and I like doing our book club ones on Audible, and so I was like, oh, let's try it. It seems like it won some awards and stuff. Yeah, I have thoughts too.
Woo! Okay, it's gonna be a juicy one.
It might be spicy, yeah.
Yeah,
not in the romance way though.
Yeah, I kind of wish it was in the romance way.
This has been a romance from a completely different book.
Yeah, it's a completely different live show.
Man.
Yeah, so every month we review a different sci-fi book. So if you'd like to join us, there's a Discord below. I also, if you don't have Discord, I post what we're reading on all of my socials. So make sure you're following us. And before I get started with reviewing, where's my copy? Right here. Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh. Briefly, here's what we're reading in August in case you want to join us. So in August, we are reading This Thing Between Us by Gus Moreno. It's supposed to be about house technology.
I think it's a horror too, right? It's sci-fi horror.
Yeah, sci-fi horror, something to do with house technology. Alexa's kind of something like that.
I'm very excited for this.
Yeah.
I love sci-fi horror.
Me too. I'm so excited. So it's gonna be dope. Okay. Do you feel confident to give somewhat of a summary of what this book is about?
Yeah, I could try it. Normally I'm like, I don't know, but I'll try.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to make this brief. Earth has been destroyed by these alien invaders. There is a residual kind of human resistance on this space station called Gaea. This space station, though, is not just a human resistance. It's more of like a kind of cult, a fascist cult run by this one dude. And it's been I think 20 years since this happened, I guess, around there. And so he's instigated these kind of very, very fascist policies and lots of indoctrination, lots of brainwashing. And so the main character is this 17-year-old girl. Her entire wish is to be like a soldier. She's kind of a jerk. She's not a very likable character, especially at the start. And then basically it's a story of her realizing that she's been indoctrinated into this cult and what to do, but there's a lot more after that. That's kind of the non-spoilery kind of basis of the story. In the nicest way possible.
Good job, Tina. You did that way better than I could have. All right, we have Roro here. Hi, Roro.
Hi.
Okay. Roro liked this one. I love that for you. I really do. I love that for you. And I'm so sorry ahead of time. Feel free to leave if you don't want to hear negative things, because I'm going to tear it to pieces. But I'm so glad that you liked it. I was like, I hope somebody's having a good time.
I'll say that I enjoyed it as a kind of overarching. I was like, this kind of is fine. I liked it as the audiobook. I thought it was good. But then when I started thinking about it, I got a bit more critical of it. And that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Totally valid.
I'd probably give it a 3. And I'm very generous. So
that's good. Yeah, it did win a Hugo Award. Which
shocks me, to be completely honest.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll get into it, I guess.
We'll get into it in a second. But what was I gonna say? I will add the caveat. I DNF this at 80 or between 80 and 85%, I want to say. So please take whatever I say, I guess, with whatever grain of salt, flavor of salt you choose, because I didn't finish it, but I got close. So
the ending is kind of what you expect. There's no real surprises.
No real resolution.
There's no surprises. Nothing. There's no big twist.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna focus on being non-spoilery with our reviews. So we're gonna deep dive.
It's hard to talk about it without it, I think, because so much of it is based on, I think, Kier's, that's the main character's personality, and you can't really do that without talking about it as a whole, I think.
Awesome. Okay. Rora's I could do it. Okay. Oh, great. Okay. So this is gonna make it onto my worst books of the year list.
It's that bad. Wow.
For me. Listen,
I love when people don't like a book that I'm like ambivalent about because I'm like, this is so fun. Like,
I'm not trying to change it. This is not the kind of book this is not like other sci-fi books where I was like, I'm gonna change your mind by the end of this review. No, like you like it, cool.
I thought it was fine. That's my opinion. I thought it was fine.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't have too many major problems with it. It's more of for me, there were a lot of missed opportunities.
Yeah, I think so too. Go for it. I'll jump in later.
Cool. Awesome. So here's the thing. So Kier is training to be a soldier, right? And has been looking forward to what their assignment is going to be. So it's like the cult of the humans are fighting these aliens. Aliens are real in this world. They have a long-standing battle history with these aliens for Earth, and the humans are like on these space colonies, right? So they spend their life training, and then when they finish their training, they get assigned to different jobs. Essentially, that's what they're going to be to serve the cause, right?
Yes.
So it started to go in the direction of The Handmaid's Tale.
Yep, there's elements of that for sure, I'd say.
And then it didn't. And I was like, why'd you do that then?
Oh, you mean like why she was assigned there, but then she never actually stays there?
Like, we didn't stay on that topic. We didn't really, unless it came back in the
end. It does come back at the end, actually, in a really big way. It does come back.
Explain to me what happened?
So basically, her friend Lizabelle, or Elizabeth, whatever the heck her name is, she's in that what do they call it? The nursery. Anyway, so Kier like has a crush on her.
Yeah, they go on a date
when she doesn't know. Yeah, in the other dimension or whatever.
The other multiverse. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of the book, so what they decide to do is they decide to save everyone in nursery. So they want to blow up the station to stop the Joel and his like little army from like attacking, like blowing up Chrysophimus, whatever the name of that the planet where Kier's sister lives. Anyway, it's a whole thing. So they decide they're going to commandeer one of the ships. They're going to somehow get everybody in the nursery wing, so all of those ladies and the kids, onto the ship. And then what ends up happening is that Kier decides she doesn't want to kill other random people. They don't have a choice. So she says, if you come with us, you can live. And basically everybody kind of abandons this space station. But the whole idea, I guess, is that she wanted to save these women. And she ends up actually like realizing that, like, having empathy for them, because she used to like hate them, like really think they were lesser and all this stuff, I guess, because of the indoctrination. She realizes that actually like they've been brainwashed too, and that caring for kids and stuff actually isn't like a negative thing. It's actually good to be caring, because her brother actually shows a real aptitude with the children, and she's like, why couldn't we just let anybody be in nursery if they were good for it, kind of thing. Like, it was a very kind of, it was a hard hitting point. It wasn't very nuanced, but that does come back. So she does kind of realize this, but I wouldn't say it was like a major part of the story.
Okay. So,
does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. And I'm glad that it does come back. Personally, there was a shift in, also, I want to say, Rover, I did watch their podcast, actually. So I do this thing every time I review a book. I'm the kind of processor where I need to bounce my ideas off other people to help formulate my own. And I like listening to other people's reviews or reading their reviews and like saying, I agree with this or I disagree with that. That's just how I am as a processor. Could be my ADHD. I don't know.
No, I read other reviews too. I'm like, oh, did I hit this wrong? Did this note not?
Yeah. Or did they see something that I didn't see? Or maybe I don't agree with their point. Right. So I totally did. Yep. It's a great suggestion, by the way. They ripped it to pieces. But anyway, what is like, so there was a point where once Kier is assigned to the nursery, we see them like really going through the emotions of, I spent my whole life training and they still see me as a broodmare. And then we also see that the women are being taken advantage of by the men in power, and that Kier's indoctrination is coming from this place of like hyper masculine patriarchy. But in the 85% that I read, it didn't really focus on that too much. Like it did focus on the indoctrination, but it didn't focus on the patriarchy aspect.
Mm.
And then it, like, I wanted her to spend more, like, I wanted the revolution to be in the nursery. And then when they pivoted to where she goes find her brother and they go to all these multi-dimension, they turn Avengers, and I was like, this isn't what I thought this was going to be.
Yeah.
And I lost interest for me.
That makes sense. Yeah. They do. There is a little bit of that in that the commander, like some of the commanders in the nursery, like are part of her like front line in taking over the ship that they commandeer. So like there's like I guess she's the leader of the nursery, and she kind of takes over, like, because there's a whole thing about there's two older people. I don't know if you got this far. So there's these two older people. One works with Avi in the engineering, I guess, and the other one is like one of the, I can't remember what he does, but he's like just like an old soldier. But they actually have like a secret relationship where they've been together forever.
Yeah.
And so there's a whole thing where she gets shot by Joel, and the old man gets angry, so he joins their kind of revolution. And he's like, you guys are children, you know what you're doing. So he like brings on these like adults to help out too. So like I actually thought that was interesting, because I was going to be like, oh, these teenagers, like they're going to do this all by themselves. It was nice that she kind of brought in people. I just found that this book was just like so didactic in its themes. It like had great potential, like as you said with the nursery thing, like it's like it went the easy route, I think, with every single thing it did. It's like, oh, you know how we fix the problem? Multiverse. How do we fix this?
Oh my God.
Like I found that really frustrating. I was like, no, there's smarter ways to do this.
Yes, I agree. To me, okay, hear me out. There's a couple points. There's a couple points here, but I'm just going to try to focus on one at a time if I can.
I will stop talking. Keep going.
No, thank you for saying what you said. I appreciate it, because you're reminding me of all the things.
I'm giving you all the stuff you didn't get to at the end. Like, there are little things, but they don't solve the problem.
Totally. Thank you for bringing that up. So, oh shoot, what was I going to say? Brain, no, don't do this. Listen, I am not a fan of multiversal books all of the time, because I feel like that lowers the tension for me. Especially with when you have a character that is supposed to have this really high gravitas moment of, you know, they're passing and it's this really impactful moment, but then they come back in another multiverse and then they're still an important character in the book. Like, yeah, it's not actually the same body and person, but they're not really gone. And so to me, that feels almost, in a way, I process that as a resurrection trope. And I am not a fan of that. I feel like it's a cheap out.
Yeah. I like multiverse when it's like the actual focus of the whole thing, when it's not just like a trope. Like I liked the Loki show a lot, at least the first season.
I loved it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I liked that because that was like the point of it. But like when you just bring it in as a trope, I find it's kind of, it's not lazy. It's just kind of like, there's other ways that are more interesting, I think, than just being like, there's a parallel dimension where things are different. Let's go there instead.
Exactly. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, at least it only did like two of them, or one. I think it was technically one, because then the wisdom sends her back to the same one originally. So they only go to one parallel dimension. But I could have done with no parallel dimensions.
Same. But on that note of parallel dimensions, something I didn't like was, okay, so Avi, unless this changes in the end, so please feel free to correct me, was like one of the villains of the story.
So I would argue that in the end, he still kind of is, but she has to like convince him. And I thought that was kind of, yeah. He's not treated very well in the story, I find.
Yeah. I didn't like that one of the only, because like there's a lot of queer representation in this book.
Later,
Kier has their own queer awakening.
But she's still coming a mile away. Like nothing about this book is surprising, to be completely honest. I guessed all the plot points like from the start, and that kind of sucked.
Same. If I can guess it, I'm like,
maybe not the multiverse part, but as soon as that happened, I was like, oh, I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Their brother and Avi, and like there's different, queer
Yeah,
representation. But I didn't like that the one character that was not only openly queer, but also very open with their sexuality was the villain in every timeline.
yeah. Because he was even in and he was in the other one too, the different one. Yeah, because he was there at the station when they show up, or the wisdom's thing, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know. Unless there's something happened later on where it's like, did we get one line where he's not the villain?
He's not really a villain in the final part. She kind of has to convince him to like do the right thing. Like he wants to just kind of leave everybody, and she's like, no, we have to save everyone. And he's like, now is there a part where he wrestles with it? I can't remember. There's a lot of dialogue in this book of going back and forth, and some of the dialogue felt a bit repetitive.
Yeah. So it's funny enough is there is one point where I predicted before we get the reveal that Avi is an antagonist.
Yeah.
There was one point where something happened. Like, when you're watching a show and you see a character that you're rooting for do something that socially is unacceptable, and you're like, this is foreshadowing that they're going to take a downward spiral.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
I saw it come. I saw Avi's antagonism coming when they were on, I think it was some space station or something with Kier after they like did the big escape.
Okay.
And they were doing acts with their body in order to earn money for them.
Yeah.
So once they became openly sexualized, I was like, put a pin in that. Please don't tell me that they become a bad guy.
Interesting. You're saying that the book is almost equating like sex work with being a villain?
I don't know if that was an intentional thing.
I don't think it was intention. I think just this book is a bit sloppy, to be completely honest.
There's nothing in there that makes me feel like the author did that intentionally, but it just didn't leave a good taste in it.
It's like no one went through it and was like, okay, so Avi's arc, he does all of these things. How are these things like connected? So if he acts this way, how does that reflect on his character later? And how do these things, how are these things combined? I don't know. It just felt like, I don't know how this book won an award or how it's nominated
personally,
for an award.
I don't know.
It's very, to be honest, it's very basic to me. It's a very basic space opera in my mind. It has all of these tropes. I don't know. I would say it's just kind of like a mediocre book to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tries too hard to be thematically resonant, but it just does it. I think it would work better as a YA book, honestly, because they can be a bit more open about their themes. For an adult book, I kind of felt, I feel like you're kind of handing me stuff, and I don't really want to do that. Oh, dog's breaking in. It's breaking in.
Yeah, I agree. I was like, I can't tell who our audience is.
Yeah, like I wish I had been kind of marketed as like new adult. That might have worked better, because then I would have been like, no, I don't want to read this.
Yeah. Hi, Miranda. How are you? Did you read some Desperate Glory? And if so, what did you think? We are currently ripping it to pieces. So just a warning.
It was just like too much. Like I think she should have just toned it back on stuff. Like even the title is like a reference, like a World War I poet, and it's like, okay, that's a completely different scenario though. Like World War I guess she's forced to be a soldier too, but it's a completely different situation. Like, I don't know. The title didn't even seem to fit with the book.
Right, because I was waiting for it to be like about her wanting to ascend a throne, or like I get in a way that the title is about her indoctrination, right? It is about not necessarily the glory of her as a soldier, but like the cause.
Yeah. And the cause in World War I was like a noble cause in a way. Oh no, it wasn't a noble cause. That's the whole point. Right. Is that World War I was not a noble war versus World War II. If you're on the Allied side, obviously you're fighting to stop this.
Right.
Big versus World War I, it was just a bunch of nonsense. And I think it might have fit a little bit if you look at it that way, in that Joel's fight is a useless fight. But it's too much. Like, I don't know. It felt like this book just tried too hard.
didn't read it because I don't own it and couldn't find it at the library. Okay, well,
That's fair.
I don't.
That's fair.
Yeah, totally fair. And I don't know if you plan on reading in the future, but we are doing full spoilers, so I don't know if that matters to you at all. But if not, you're welcome to chime in at any time. Hi, Victor. Thanks for being here. Did you read the book? And if you did, let us know what you think about it. Oh, yay, new subscriber. I love it. I love it. Awesome. Yeah, I feel like this, bouncing off what you just said, I feel like this book bit off more than it could chew.
Yeah. There was just too much. There's too many things. And like all the content warnings at the start, and like each one should have had a bit more focus, I think. Like there is an interesting part at the end where she realizes that Joel's been grooming her to be like his new baby maker, basically.
Baby mama,
yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
and so she's like, oh, he
gross.
did this to my sister. And I'm like, that was an interesting kind of thing, but it kind of is plopped in there. Like, I think if she'd stayed on the station and we didn't have all this jumping around stuff, or if that had been like minimal, like if she'd gone back to the station or been on the station longer, that could have been a more, it wouldn't have felt just kind of plopped in at the end. Because like it's very quick. Like he makes her his second in command or whatever, his assistant, whatever she is. And then it's just like 2 scenes that they have where she realizes this. I'm like, no, this seems like it should have been more drawn out process. Like we should have been able to see it earlier before she saw it. And then what we would want is to like we watch her realize this and like fight back and stuff versus like, oh, here's one scene and she realizes it all in one scene. I don't know. It felt like it was like kind of shoehorned in.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Fallout and Halo. I love Halo. Listen, me too. I love Halo. I played all the games. It's so fun.
I love it. I've read much of the books too. I've read.
Oh no, I haven't read the books. Are they good?
They're fine. The first ones are kind of rough, but I like the kind of. There's a few middle ones where they start teaming up with the Covenant. I like those ones.
Okay, cool.
Because I like the aliens more than.
Yes, I love the aliens in Halo. Oh my gosh, now you're making me want to go play Halo. Yay, glad you're here. Yeah, like okay, there were let's talk to some good things. Positives. The action was fun.
Yeah, the action was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the alien culture stuff. We didn't get enough of it, but I liked kind of the differences in like what's their name? Iso? Yeah, Iso. So Iso's like the alien. Yeah. Like their kind of their take on things and that kind of stuff. I thought that was fun. It was good. It wasn't super in depth, but I was like, okay, get behind this.
It's okay.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought they were an interesting kind of foil to her in that they were very kind of like non-combative and very polite and kind of sweet and stuff. And then I though think the book the one thing it didn't take a chance on. I'm like, can they get together in the end? I thought there was going to be there was not. There's a little part where they like hold hands and like here like kisses their hand, and I was like, no, give me a big smooch. I don't want to have this ambiguousness. If you're gonna have someone fall in love with the alien, be definitive about it. In my opinion, because I thought that was building to that the whole time. It felt like it was gonna be like a whole like whole thing, but no, that doesn't happen.
Sad face.
The one thing they're subtle about.
The one thing they're subtle about, yeah. Well, maybe you want to check out the books, Victor. Also, it'd be cool. Maybe that would be something fun for us to read sometime. It's the Halo books.
I have a Halo compilation, and Jeff Vandermeer writes like this really awesome, like short story about like rescuing people from like a ship. It's really cool. It's really
that's fun. You know what? I'd be down.
Yeah, it's good.
Maybe we'll drop it in the book club sometime. Like, I want to read Halo. Cool. Yeah, I was hoping that there would be a nice ending or nice resolution arc for Iso.
Yeah, Iso gets so Joel has Iso, captures them, of course, and then Kira has to go and has 12 minutes to rescue them before the ship explodes. The whole typical action stuff. They managed to do it. Joel gets like burst into multiverse pieces. I don't know why they set up the space station to have all the engines pointing at each other. Seems stupid in my opinion. But they end up getting, of course, they forget that Iso has a ship on board, so they manage to escape to that ship. And then the wisdom, so did you get to the point where the wisdom decides to like sacrifice itself?
I think so.
Yeah, so the wisdom's whole thing was like, okay, this is your last chance to fix everything, and I'm gonna basically just turn myself off.
Yeah.
But in the end, the wisdom had actually transferred a tiny little bit of itself into Iso's ship. And so the wisdom comes back. and like talks to Kier and Iso about stuff at the end. And I was like, did
Is-
we need that?
Wait, okay, here's a question. Is
Why?
that okay? Is that why it was so easy for them to get to the wisdom? Because I was like, this should have been harder.
When they got there, I was like, wait, this is it?
We're here. We made it.
Okay.
Look,
It
Mama
seemed like
made
there was
it.
like what, 2 guards in the whole facility?
Yes, literally. I'm like, okay, at some point in this story, I need to be told that it was intended for them to make it for some larger plot, because if it's just that easy, I'm gonna crash out.
I don't know. I can't remember. I listened to this in such kind of piecemeal spots, and usually while I was driving and stuff. And when I had a very long drive, so I might have been zoning out.
Okay, if anyone who in the chat remembers, can answer that, like, because again, I DNF'd it at 85%. So
I don't think it was like the part that they transfer to the ship. The book is very specific in saying that it's not anything that can actually change universes or anything like that. It's lost all of its like main power. It's just like kind of like a personality.
yeah.
And I'm like, then who?
Like
oh,
AI?
The only reason it comes back is because it's able to like somehow teleport them from the explosion into the ship to save them or
Because
something. I can't remember.
Technology.
I was like, there's how.
I know. Okay, so here's the thing. Me and you, we are how girlies. We are the sci-fi girlies that are like, tell me the function. Tell me exactly how we got from point A to point B to point C. Like, I can suspend disbelief, but I need you to give me a rationale. That's how.
Yeah, I wanted more information on how Gaea Station functioned. I'm like, how do they have cloning facilities? Like, who's maintaining these? How do they have? There's 2,000 people on the station. I'm like, where's everyone else working? Are most of them soldiers? I'm like, how do they expect to do anything with 2,000 people? I don't know.
Which for me, and like, I know that for a lot of people, that is not everyone's cup of tea, but that's why I'm like, if we're gonna do sci-fi like this, choose one main problem and just go deeper instead of wider.
Yeah, make the station be the problem. Don't worry so much about the alien parallel universes thing, or make it that maybe her whole point is like not to take down Joel. It's to just get a better, like, make it a selfish reason. She doesn't want to be in the nursery. But then, you know what I mean? That's kind of, and then maybe getting her to the station in the end is like a kind of a big surprise. It's not like the whole point the whole time. I don't know. It just felt like this book was so unsubtle. And that was what I didn't like about it. I was just, I mean, I thought it was fine to read. Like, I thought it moved at a good pace. That's one thing. I was never really bored. You know, I thought the characters were fine. I didn't hate Kier like a lot of people in the Discord group did. I was like, oh, I understand what's happening here. She's 17 and she's been indoctrinated. She's going to obviously turn around. I kind of liked that she was kind of tough. Like, I don't know. I didn't dislike her too much. I didn't hate her because I understood that she's like going to change. But if she hadn't, I guess that was the thing too. The book was so, it just took you by the hand too much, I think. Like, you're like, oh yeah, she is going to change, of course, you know, like I shouldn't assume that from the start of the book.
Yeah, I agree. I can enjoy a dislikable main character, and that's fine for me. And I actually do like that it took her the entire book to finally have that paradigm shift and say, I've been a part of the problem the entire time. My entire life is a lie. Like, that even though she was having these moments of intimacy and conversation with her brother, with her sister, and like to see that all of these secret things that were excuses so that in case the truth came out, she would always have that seed of doubt in her mind and say, oh, but no, it's actually a cover-up because of this reason. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that Emily Tesh didn't just say, oh yeah, you see that this is fake now? Okay, cool. Now we're going to do a complete 180. Like, no, that's not realistic. You know?
That's true. Yeah, she does little things here and there. Like when she starts using Iso, stop calling Iso it. That's a little change. And then when she started actually using their proper pronoun, that was good. It's like, I thought that was good. Yeah, exactly like you said. It was like little turning points here and there. It wasn't just like a massive kind of like light bulb moment. That I thought was actually, I'd say the strongest part of the book was Kier's kind of personality arc.
Yeah.
But everything else around it was just too much it's like it existed for her personality arc
Mhm.
and didn't feel like it was, I don't know, it felt like she was like the main character in the entire universe as opposed to just like in the book.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she was the universe really did center around her in this story, and it's like, I mean, that's fine. I just would have wanted it to be,
because it was third person.
Yeah.
So we could have had more. We could have. I wonder how this book would have worked if it would have been like a third person multi point of view. Like, I almost wonder if that would have made it stronger, if we could have seen things from other people's, like, I don't know, I guess if this book was just, it was almost too simple. I don't know, this book's so interesting to me because I'm like, I don't dislike it, but I'm like, there's so many things about it that I'm like, are just, didn't really work.
Right. That's why I feel like it's more about missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Victor says, I will personally like the standard edition cover of Some Desperate Glory versus the Fair. Oh, I didn't know they did a Fairy Loot edition of this one.
Is the one we have in the background the standard one?
I don't know.
I like that one.
Let me see. Fairy Loot, Some Desperate. Sorry for my nail tapping. Oh, Some Desperate Glory. I don't know.
Is there like a UK version?
Maybe.
Because I know I saw a different one, like on.
Oh yeah, I think I guess. I can't tell, honestly. I'm struggling. There's a couple different versions, but I can't tell which one's Fairy Loot and which one is like US version, which one's UK version.
Because one's just like a circle blob.
I think that one, the one with the blue circle, has like sprayed edges. I think that is the.
Okay. It has like a fancy edges. See, I like the one with the girl on the cover.
Me too. But yeah, they're pretty.
Kind of gives you more. I don't know. I find the other one's kind of like, it just looks like a generic space book.
Just a generic space book.
But maybe it's really pretty. Maybe it's really pretty in like person, you know? Like
yeah.
Some don't look as well in the thumbnail. Then you get it in person, you're like, oh, that's really pretty.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I will say the concept, I agree. The concept of the wisdom was interesting. For me, it's just the execution lacked. Like, I just wanted more.
Yeah, like, I don't know if I would, maybe I'm being ageist here, but I don't know if I would trust a 17-year-old to be able to fix all the problems.
No. I don't think, honestly, listen, I don't think you're being ageist. I work with 17-year-olds. No.
Like, some were capable. I mean, she might have been more capable than most, but I'm like, you're a baby.
Yeah. I'm like, listen, there are plenty of wise beyond their years, capable young adults.
I just think back to myself at that age. I'm like, I was
develops at 25.
No, I was an idiot at 17. I wouldn't have been able to do any of that. You're so distracted by like so many things, like so many emotional things that you just can't parse from life. I don't know.
And like, well, I will say that like Kier had to grow up faster than most, but also, and again, they were indoctrinated. It's like a completely this unemotional, there's no kind of emotional intelligence being fostered. There's this hyper masculine, lens that's being imposed upon them where they're making fun of the nursery and then they're like, being expected to also, okay, wait, going back to the nursery for a second.
Yeah, let's go back to the nursery.
I have something to say. Listen, so I'm trying to understand how the rationale for saying that Kier was going to be good as a baby making machine, more or less, was like majoritively actually, that her genes, which they wanted, like hoping that she would have sons that are kind of like her brother because her brother was no longer there.
Yeah.
And hopefully her kids would be like their brother and she would have sons and whatever. Like, heard that. Horrible. Get it. Atrocious.
Makes sense from a from an evil point of view.
Yeah, it makes sense from an evil patriarchy point of view.
Yeah.
Like, but also there was this rationale that was given to Kier for her to go along with it of, you are a one of our best soldiers and or best cadets, and we want you to be able to train your children so that they can serve the cause.
Yeah, because they do say at some point that she was like instrumental in getting her team. Like she would find their weak points in like the Gaea simulations and stuff, and like work on that. Even if she was kind of a very brusque leader, she was like a good leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
However, the women who are in the nursery are not the ones that train the cadets.
Yeah. Right? I'm trying to think.
Did I understand that correctly?
I don't know. I don't know if they ever tell us who trains the cadets. Like
Because
I'm trying to remember.
They have this really negative view of the women as just birthing. They're just there to birth. But is that a view that would make sense if they actually spent more than just their toddler years interacting with them and actually being trained by them?
Because I think that they go, I don't know if they're trained by the nursery. I think that once they hit a certain age, they're moved to like their little squad rooms.
Yes.
But yeah, who takes over at that point?
I don't know.
I don't know either. They never really told us. Like I would have assumed that the nursery would have started the training as children.
Right.
Like as 5-year-olds.
But I don't know. We don't get that much information. So like that's a whole area that just didn't kind of make sense to me. And like, why is Kier buying into this excuse, but that's not something that was elaborated upon?
Yeah, and while I understand that, like, okay, they wanted her nursery because of her genes, I thought they were cloning people at some point. Or did they lose that technology? Maybe they lost that technology.
Remember, honestly.
Maybe no, it was just genetic manipulation. Never mind, it wasn't cloning. I'm wrong.
Okay.
I'm thinking of something else. Oh, yeah. Issa is a clone. That's who I'm thinking of. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. I think so. I can't remember. There's too many tropes in this book. I can't keep it straight. I'm pretty sure Issa was a clone. But Kier was just genetically modified. Okay. So if they can genetically modify people, though, or did they lose that ability and that's why they want her in the nursery?
Oh, somebody help.
God.
Somebody in the chat help. What were they doing?
I think they just wanted, to be honest, I think the book just wanted us to be like, oh, this is the worst possible fate for Kier. So let's give her an impetus to escape.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of felt like that. Like, I mean, I get it. I wouldn't want to be forced into that situation either, especially when you realize that the upper echelon get access to the women whenever they want. That was an added thing that I think made it even worse because she sees Lizabelle or whatever her name is being taken away by this older dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going with that.
I'm also really interested in like something that I wanted was, okay, you have these women who are trained in combat and then they're told to become like, what's the word? Concubines.
Basically, yeah.
And no one's had an uprising. None of these women have kicked any ass. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, I could, like, it doesn't seem like there was that much, like, was there, we don't really see anyone getting punished, right?
I don't know.
I can't remember, like, for anything. Like, normally in this kind of situation, you'd see someone getting, like, whipped or something, you know what I mean?
No.
Like, or, like, put on public display of, like, some kind of something happening to them,
that would make sense
as, like, a way to control them.
Right.
But I'm like, yeah, there's 2,000 people on the station. One of the, like, the one woman, like, the captain of the, whatever, the commander of the nursery, she's, like, 8 months pregnant at the end of the book, and she's, like, being a badass. So I'm like, why would these tough, badass ladies put up with this?
Yeah. Or why was there no uprising before, or any whispers of an attempted coup, or like, you know?
Yeah, like, she mentions it at some point to the one guy, the guy that's dating the technician, the older man, and they just kind of, she complains about how they just kind of like went along with this. But I'm like, but we don't really see, that's why I think a third person perspective, like, or, you know, a multi-third person might have worked a bit better, because we could have seen why, other than just Kier's perspective, other people's perspectives, like someone in nursery, someone here, someone there. It's hard, I think, to to show it with just one person's perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
I
because she's
mean,
only seeing it from one angle.
yeah,
Mhm.
so it's like, and usually, like, I'm thinking of IRL situations in which you have an entire group of people that are indoctrinated.
Yeah,
Like, I'm thinking like North Korea, right? From birth, you are
yeah.
told this is your leader, this is the cause, you work for the cause, you work for the leader. But there's also fear tactics that are used so that people are aware, in case you have any thought that is not a thought that we want you to have, here's what's going to happen to you, so don't even think about it, right? So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think we got any of that like crowd control manipulation kind of thing to back up the indoctrination.
I don't think so. Like, because at one point at the end, Joel threatens to execute Magnus, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like,
He already did.
it seemed like, yeah, it seemed like it
Sorry.
was like something that didn't happen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like I was like, I don't know. Yeah, why wasn't there an uprising in the nursery? Or like, why didn't they just like ask people if they wanted to be like make the babies and then let people have relationships? Like, I don't know. It seems like there's a smarter way. I guess Joel's an idiot though.
Yeah. I mean, most dictators are idiots.
True. So
But,
maybe
yeah.
that's the thing. I don't know. It's just we never really see I kind of wanted to see more of the logistics of how this little insular space station worked
Yeah.
a bit more.
So those are my gripes.
Too much time with Kier in the Wisdom's little simulation room. That went on and on and on. I was like, can we just skip this conversation and just have her realize what's going on instead of this back and forth training with Iso? I'm like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah. But I liked Iso. I liked Magnus was his name?
Yeah.
I did like Magnus as a character.
Yeah. I thought the side characters were actually almost more interesting. Like I liked the sister and I liked her son was good. He was cute. And I did like the kind of different future when she went into other dimension where she's a bit older. I thought that was kind of more interesting. I was like, I kind of wish they'd stayed here.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know that I have anything more to say about it, but if you have anything you want to add.
No. I'm just kind of disappointed that I didn't love it. I thought all these things about it. I'm like, this sounds cool, you know?
I know. And it's like Emily Tesh has other books that the premises sound interesting to me, but this one kind of put me off a little bit.
Not sure.
So,
yeah, I don't know if I would, like, I can see the little quote underneath. I wouldn't say this was an audacious story at all or a wild ride. No. Sorry, Tamsin.
So you know what, but we did it because I know we've been talking about reading this for forever, and it's like we could check that box.
It's done. It's done.
Yay. Okay. So I guess we might just wrap this up a little bit early. I also have another book review in 15 minutes for my other book club. So
yeah, well, I'll let you get that.
10 days of
prepared for that.
Yeah, but again, if anyone wants to join us for our next book club review, we are reading This Thing Between Us, sci-fi horror. Woo! Excited for this one.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, don't forget to follow Tina if you're not following Tina already, and turn on the notifications so that you can get notified when we have our book club meetings. And yeah, I guess that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.